Here we go, Kev, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Belshir Vestige, the red Protoss player representing Team Evil Geniuses. It is Oz. And his opponent down in the bottom ranked. Creator of the universe, certainly. Multiple-time GSL champion, oh yeah. And all-around handsome, good-looking guy? I think so. It's LGIM Nestea.
Also the runner-up of BlizzCon 2011. Back then losing in the final against
that's a
MVP.
Throwback.
Yeah, well it was the last BlizzCon.
Incredible. Remember that last game on Shakur's Plateau?
I just remember the quick push on Lost Temple. I remember we had very small maps back then.
That last game on Shakur's Plateau was just
Oh,
nuts.
with all the ghosts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that game was kind of stupid.
I think I whined.
He had
to
like
you for
24
weeks
Broodlords
after
and he had
that.
no detection.
And they all got sniped to death.
Yeah,
That was before the snipe nerf.
that's how most of my PvTs go, but to see it happen against the Zerg was kind of funny.
It was just funny because snipe kills both ultras, or at the time killed
Yeah.
both ultras and broodlords
It was kind of an exciting time in TVC.
in Terran land.
I thought it was cool either way. Of course, Nestea, a fantastic player and very accomplished as well. All's going a little funky here, just making Nestea's life a little miserable, blocking with hatchery and delaying it for quite a bit.
Nestea wanted to go hatch first. Instead, he's been forced to plant a spawning pool in his main. He'll go ahead and take his first expansion, where his third is supposed to be.
Alls didn't have a very successful run in WCS America Season 1 when he lost in the round of 32, as he lost back then against State, which was pretty surprising, and he also lost against Violet. But Season 2 went a lot better for us, as last season we welcomed him to the round of 8, and then unfortunately he lost against our eventual champion, Paul, 3-0. Even though he did display some really cool PvD builds, and I remember Artosis was really fond of the builds as well. I think he did an episode on it, I don't know. He liked it. Even though it didn't work, the idea was there. The execution just wasn't.
His probe scout is seeing lots of stuff. Is soon to see that building hatchery down there at the third. Oz has gone for the gateway opening, hasn't taken his Nexus just yet. I'm wondering if seeing this expansion way out here by itself is going to prompt any kind of a reaction.
If it is, then it would still be on 2 bases.
Yeah.
It's way too risky to do it on 1 base. It's almost impossible to make it work unless Nestea just goes complete autopilot mode and doesn't scout, doesn't make any units. Then he could die to a 4-gate. Other than that, Oz would put himself in a horrible position. So, if he wants to do something, which is possible, it is definitely going to be of at least 2 bases. You know, I'm going to bring up Puck again. It's not the first time. I don't know why it happened. I guess because Puck has just played against all of these players multiple times in WCS. But Puck is really good on Belshir. It seems like he almost always wins. As that was also the map he was able to defeat Scarlet on, if I'm not mistaken. And the way that he uses Blink Stocks on this map kind of makes me wonder. You know, are we going to see something similar from us? Just a lot of sentries, a couple of immortals, and then just a ridiculous amount of Blink Stalkers.
Yeah, the way Puck plays is cool.
That grows to like from 20 Stalkers to suddenly 48. It's like, oh my god, how do you engage this army? Not really something you can swing around with a bunch of links and surround.
And that's the worst feeling as a Zerg when you've got like 50 lings and you attack the Stalkers and you just don't kill anything. Oh god, I hate that.
I like it.
I used to play against Rhett's off race, and he would do that to me all the time, and I could never beat it.
If you talk about throwbacks, Ben, those were the days.
Way back.
Mr. Bitter still was an ambitious player before his dreams were
And
scattered
Rhett
on
was
ladder.
just smacking me with his off race, just time and time again, just over and over.
Pretty quick Roach one here for Nestea, Ben, and it makes me wonder already. Nestea, do you have something funky up your sleeves?
He's also got link speed, Kev. He's not saved up that much gas.
Either
though,
he's
so.
like super worried that Oz is gonna go for some gateway aggression, because Nestea hasn't really scouted anything yet. He's completely unaware of the Stargate. He was almost able to see that. He sees these 2 gates, but he doesn't know about anything else. Definitely doesn't know about the Stargate. We have a Phoenix opening here from Oz, which I think is cool, as it is a way that I like to open as well, and I'm curious to see how this is going to work for us. I always had a lot of faith in these openings until very recently I saw Hero vs. Life at New York, and it was just like, wow. Maybe they're not as good as I thought they were.
Or maybe Life is just way better than we give him credit for.
It's probably a combination of both. This Overlord is going to scout the Phoenix, and that's all that Nestea needs to see for now. Obviously, you would like to see if there's a second Stargate, if there's anything super crazy that is to worry about, but it is just a single Stargate for now. And then I think it's just going to be heavy drone mode for Nestea for quite a while. There's nothing for him to be truly afraid of. I think if Oz, you know, ooh, I like this pylon a lot, because that's often what you do as Zerg, right? You just make a couple of spores and then you go all out droning because you think there's nothing on the map. But if he just assumes that, he's going to be wrong. And this pylon, if Oz is able to wipe in 6-7 gateway units, that could already be the beginning of the end.
Now, before that pylon went down, I wasn't crazy about what we see from Oz, because there is no forge, there are no upgrades. The late game staying power of this opening is not really there. But if he's able to warp in a bunch of zealots and erase this third base...
I think he might will, because we see Hydralisk then on the way for Nestea, which gives me even more of an indication that he is playing kind of autopilot mode. Right now he just thinks like, oh, there's nothing to worry about for me for a while. I'm just going to drone up. Eventually I get some Hydras in case I have to you know, worry about a Void Ray or if these Phoenixes start getting too annoying. But he doesn't know anything, and here we do have those 6 zealots. I think that this base is going to fall, and then Oz is putting himself in a great position.
Yeah, here we go. 6 zealots going to wrap around the...
But even if it doesn't fall,
of all things.
Yeah, that's fine, because then he doesn't have to worry about the queen. So even if Hydra spawn, he's able to pick them up one by one. Surrounding zealots with drones is not a very good idea, even if you're Nestea.
And surrounding hatcheries with zealots, however, can work out really well. And I think this third base is not long to this world. Nestea producing 5 roaches. Those are not going to get the job done. Unless they all spawn at the same time in the third, but that's not going to be the case.
Well, that's not going to be the case. Even if they would, there will be a couple of Phoenixes to help those zealots out a little bit. And Oz, with that single pylon, is able to put himself in an absolutely marvelous position.
Yeah,
as
man.
Stefano would say.
Just like that, 6 zealots, none of them die. And the third base is gone.
Not every day that you have something like this. This is just crazy.
Just going back home, man.
Yeah.
Time for lunch.
Well, they definitely deserve a corn dog. Man, that season.
Dude, zealots definitely do not eat corn dogs.
Yes, they do.
They don't even have mouths, though. I think they. You ever watch that movie Avatar?
Yes.
I think they probably have that kind of weird tail thing at the end of their ponytail. That's probably how they eat.
They do have they have something flying around. I don't think it's an Avatar ponytail though.
Yeah,
either way, Nestea is in a bad position, Ben, and you know there's really not too much to say about it other than the fact that Nestea just played too sloppy. He just played too careless. He had Link speed even that early. He should always be running around with Links. You can't just assume things. You can't just be like, ah, there's a Stargate opening. I'm just going to drone up for a while. I don't think he's going to do anything. Oz, you know, this could have been shut down very hard if we just see 20 Links on the production tab. These Zealots will die. He keeps the bases alive. And then Oz finds himself in that position which you mentioned, which isn't a beautiful one. Just a bunch of gateways, no robo on that point. Just a few Stargate units. But now this is just a dream scenario. He's going to pick up these Hydras, going to pick up these Queens, and you know it's almost curtains for Nestea. It's going to be so hard for him. He's never going to have the economy to actually deal with Colossus in a proper way.
There is a small roach attack in the third base.
There are plenty of gateway units.
Yeah, like oh wow, Burrow's done. That helps.
Yeah. It's going to keep them alive for a little longer.
Roaches will survive until the observer's out, and then they will die terribly.
Unless they have Thundering Claws. Oh, picking up a sentry, picking up a second sentry.
Rogue roaches, that's Carbot style, man.
Yeah, they were not supposed to live. Second Stargate is going down for us as well. These are definitely nice little pickups here.
These roaches are mad. Colossus is here then, I think that should... Oh. Oh, come on. Come on. I guess that's the end of the roaches. It was bound to happen sooner or later.
Funny as well is that this pylon is still up. He could have wiped in a couple of additional units, and with the Phoenix support he would have actually been able to kill this hatchery again if he really wanted to. He didn't do that because Oz was, you know, Oz was satisfied with the damage that he did. And if we look at the supply count, we can see that
he could have just left those first 6 zealots there.
Yeah, and it would be almost impossible for Nestea to retake that base. Because he's going to need a crazy amount of Hydras to deal with 6 Phoenixes. You can't run in 4 or 5 Hydras. You're going to need like, at least 10 or maybe even more than that. As Phoenixes are extremely good against Hydras in small numbers, but not so much in bigger numbers.
We've got a very fast Hive finishing up here for Nestea. I'm not sure what he wants to do with it. Oh, it's just for Vipers. That makes a whole lot of sense. I should have definitely keyed up on that. That's going to help against the Colossi.
Yeah, that's the only way that he can even dream about picking up these Colossus. But
the Phoenixes are going to make it difficult, though. Phoenixes.
Yeah, I know Phoenixes help out, certainly because there's a second Stargate as well. There's going to be Void Rays. Not every day you see Protoss player being up 20 supply and having the army of his dreams against a Zerg player. And that is the case this game, though.
This is 3 Stargate Void Ray production coming here. Kind of just a Void Ray Colossus, basically what we're seeing the transition into.
Nice little jackpot over here for us. Finds 3 Overlords in the left bottom side of the map.
That's like winning a free ticket on a scratch-off card.
Yes. It doesn't mean much, but it's better than nothing.
Means you get to keep playing, Kev.
And forcing Nestea to make 7 Overlords now at once. Nestea's like, supply block, never again. This is also very ambitious for Nestea to use his hatchery for, to soak up a lot of energy.
Only fitting in the ambitious series.
He was able to pick up this pylon, I think, during the time we were keeping a close eye on these Phoenixes on the left bottom side. Either way, no matter how we spin it, Oz just finds himself in a dream scenario.
Yeah, that's a pretty terrifying army. Colossi, Immortals, Void Rays, there are Phoenixes still out on the map. It's 170 supply of huge Protoss units against 170 supply of Roach, Hydra, Viper, which is still a strong army composition. The Viper definitely makes Roach, Hydra a lot more formidable than it has ever been before.
The Void Ray count is getting really high though. There's almost a single Void Ray for every single Hydra list that's on the map soon. So you can abduct the Colossus, but then there are a bunch of Void Rays idling above your army.
Yeah.
And these Hydras, if they're smart band, they just burrow. Don't fight.
There are 9 Void Rays and there are 9 Hydras.
Don't fight. Just burrow, guys. You have to pick the right battles. The only thing that's kind of working for Nestea is his upgrades. He's on 2-0 against 1-1 for us. Then I like the 2-0 a little better, certainly because the Roaches, they get a lot of extra damage. But it is going to be so hard for Nestea to make something happen.
Phoenixes are going to fly over and see this, and Oz is going to be like, man, that doesn't look like very many Hydras.
Nestea is just like expecting to find 2, 3, 4 Colossus probably, maybe 1 or 2 Immortals. And as soon as he's going to see this fleet of Void Rays, he's like, well, I hope these are hallucinations.
Lasers as the Hydras are going to die. Wow, that is just like shiny lights and soon to be a GG because Nestea's army just disintegrates under the focused fire of Oz. And Nestea is going to have to go
This
fall
queen
back.
is like, no! Hey guys, not looking good.
What about me?
Oh, I like that he's still transfused in his dying moments. He still thought about a friend. That's a good buddy to have, a true bro. Or a sister.
Yeah. Good guy, queen.
There were 15 Hydras on the way, and there are 9 more in production with 25 Hydras. And that's already looking better than in the previous fight, but the problem is all the Vipers died. So how are these Hydralisks ever going to get close to these Colossus? I don't know.
Gonna be tough. Nestea's alternative is gonna be a big Roach counterattack. It's gonna do a ton of damage, but I think the brutal fact of the matter is that this is a Protoss army that he can't deal with.
Yeah. He does have a Spire, so eventually we could see the Muta transition with 300 gas in the bank.
3 Mutas would probably not do well against this many Void Rays.
There are a lot of Hydras left. Like if Oz doesn't pay it, where did the Colossus go? Did he recall the Colossus?
They went back.
Yes, he did recall to the right top side of the map. This is interesting, man. Because now suddenly maybe this gateway army from Oz is not strong enough. But a couple of force fields will go down, keeping these Hydras out. I like what I see from Nestea. If there was a way that he's going to find his way back into this game, this might be the way.
If there's a way back, this is definitely how to do it. Spread out your opponent and force them to make mistakes. But the Hive is now going to fall. No, force field is missed.
Force fields are out. There's no more sentry energy. Well, 1. These
Everything in
roaches.
this main is going to die, though, man.
But Nestea has skilled more workers than Oz. Nestea does have this 4th base he could potentially transfer a few drones to. I really like what Nestea did over here. I mean, he's still in a pretty dicey position.
Super tough spot, Kev. He's at.
But this army is gonna die. Okay, not before killing the entire deck. Come on, Hydras. This is your battle. Well, the Immortals dancing backwards. Sick moonwalk.
All right, here it is, the moment that Nestea finally kills some Protoss stuff. Well done here with the cleanup. But Kev, there's still such a huge Protoss army out on the map. It's 125 supply of Protoss, and just not that much Zerg. 125 army supply, I should say. It's 185 total supply, because there are 60 probes out on the map.
I was just slightly confused. It's
a big army.
It's a very big army. And I must say, I actually thought the army was trapped in right bottom side of the map, but Blink just finished up. Blink was being researched, so Oz was actually able to save all these stalkers.
This is a lot of Hydras, though, and if with the right concave, maybe something can happen. Void Rays are going to charge. Colossi are going to go to work. Phoenix is lifting a few of these Hydras. Oh, but here come the Void Ray reinforcements, and that's all she wrote. Good game.